Hello and welcome to this video on exception handling. Uh, I'll just give you a brief introduction about the theory and then we'll move on to our practical. All right. So, exception handling, it is used to in scenarios where you have certain errors, all right, that you anticipate, all right. So if you anticipate that there is going to be an error, then some unusual activity either from the user side or from the code that you have written. In that case, you write exception handling code, all right. So different kind of codes, errors that are there are first is a compile time error, all right. Then the second is a runtime error, and third is a logical error, all right. So we'll see these examples how they are. A compile time error is mainly syntactical error, which results in failing for compilation. Okay. It is detected by the Python compiler. Example is forgetting to write a colon after the if statement. Okay, all right. So here you can see since the colons is missing, it is a syntax error, and that becomes a compilation error. Then runtime errors are something that the Python virtual machine cannot execute. All right, the bytecode, and it flags it as a runtime error. All right. So an example of this would be either insufficient memory to store something, or another example is given over here. That is the concatenation operation is done over here, but the concatenation operator to the concatenation function that we have written, we have passed two data that are not the same, and we know that if we don't have the similar data type of A and B, we cannot use the plus operator, all right. So that will generate a runtime error. Okay, so after runtime error, we have the logical errors. Logical error depict flaw in logic of the program, all right, and they are not detected by either the Python virtual machine or the compiler. Okay, compiler detects syntactical errors, and Python virtual machine detects the this runtime errors, all right. But the programmer is solely responsible for them, because see over here, as you can see, this increment function, all right, will return the salary, but what will be returned is actually 15% of salary, all right. And since it is an increment of 15%, we have to add sal plus, it should be like this, sal plus sal of 15%. Okay, so that should have been the case, and this will give an output, but it will be different from what our expected output is. Okay, so these are logical errors. They are not really errors, but the logic is flawed, all right, and that is where the programmer is solely responsible, all right. Okay, now the exception class, all right. uh, Exception class, runtime errors which can be handled by the programmer are called as errors. Exceptions which cannot be handled are called as errors. Sorry, these are runtime errors, right. So what type of exceptions that we have? We have warning, which is deprecation, runtime, and import warning. Okay, there are three types. So as I was saying, there are three types of warnings: deprecation warning, runtime warning, and import warning. The standard error is arithmetic, assertion, syntax, type error, end of file error, runtime error, import error, name error. Okay, so these are all warnings. These are all errors, and these are all warnings. Okay, the programmer can guess the occurrence of exception and do something to eliminate the harm caused by it. Exception is represented as a class in Python. So you can see over here it is a class which derives from the base exception. Okay, the exception hierarchy is given over here. These are built for in functions for which base exception is the base class. Okay, so there is a base exception from which this exception is taken, and from there we have the classification further. All right, so I'll not give you this theory about. Okay, assertion is basically whenever we write an exception handling, we write it in a try except block. Okay, if you already have knowledge of Java, you might be familiar with try catch block. Try catch block. Over here, we have try except block. All right. So we can try some code. If it fails, then accept the whichever error we expect to occur. All right. And then there is the finally clause, which runs irrespective of the error irrespective of whether the error has happened or not. All right. So that is the except block, try, except, and finally. Okay. Then there is the assert statement, which makes sure that a particular condition is true. All right. And if it is not true, then it will give you an assertion error. All right. So for example, we can assert that a value given by that is by user x, the x value which is given by the user should be between 5 and 10, and if it is not between 5 and 10, then we will have an assertion error. All right. So that is that user can also define errors. Then user can also define errors. These are user exception, and this is important. Logging of exceptions. There are these 6 classes of errors that occur. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, level 0 is not set. Okay, which is basically not an error. Debug is numeric value is 10, and as the numeric value rises, the priority of that error is more. Okay. 20 is info, message with some important information. Then warning is 30, warning messages, some caution is needed. Error is 40, serious errors, and 50 is critical for very serious errors that need high attention. Okay. Now you cannot save all these errors. I guess warning is after warnings you cannot save. Let's read through it. We can store errors raised by the programs in files. So we can write these errors to a file. Okay. We can write these errors to a file, and that is useful when we want to give someone else the access to what all errors have happened. Okay. So the programmers to quantify and locate the errors. Python provides logging module to create a log file that can store all the error messages. Depending on the seriousness of the error, they can be classified into 6 levels. Okay, so warning and above are the errors that can be logged into file. Below warning, info, debug, and not set, you cannot store in a file. Okay, a log file. Above that, you can store in a log file. All right, because those are errors that should be seen. Okay, so you can see over here. Error and critical are stored. Warning and below are not stored. So including warning. All right. So including warning, info, debug, they are not set, not stored. Critical and error are the only ones which are stored. So if we try to basically, if we create my log.txt file and we try to log in, those errors, print those errors in the file, then these will be stored, but these will not be stored. All right. So it is also given as the output. All right. So I guess that is enough of theory. All right. Let's move to our problem statement. It's not experiment number 10, I guess. It is some other experiment number D5, demo 5. Okay. So D5, let's see what the problem statement is.